Hey, what's up, everybody? So there is a new updated version of the Chance Wilkins Cyrax Iceberg, and I think we should just kind of like go through it and just like read the new things that are on it and kind of talk about some of them. Okay, so we're gonna start up here with like the most known things: Chance Wilkins, Skullet, Based Shaman, Music Biz Marty, Chester Bennington 20-second Scream video, King Cobra JFS, Wings of Redemption reacts to Cyrax, Linkin Park, DJ Shadowblade, record label Trolls, Goblin, Danny Brown, No Shoulders, Lyric Plagiarism, Skull Scabs, Akron, Ohio, The Next Chris Chan, and Danny Brown. So, like, when you first learn about Cyrax, these are all the, like, just common things that everybody knows. It's like the first little introduction to them is these things up here. The most commonly known stuff. Right. So we get down to the second level, and we have third generation diddler. His grandpa and his dad were groomers and diddlers, so he's following in their footsteps. Heather Kraut. Rest in peace. Heather Kraut is Heather number 2. And she's the one who said, "This pizza good." Another entry on this iceberg that's right underneath it. The jerk videos. He's always sending videos to almost anybody he meets of him pleasuring himself. The Hills Have Eyes. Just a common joke to make about him looking like someone from The Hills Have Eyes. King of Akron. He's often calling himself the King of Akron for some reason. Zach Hussein. A person who was killed in Akron in a pizza store robbery or something like that. And ever since they died, Chance has been just vulturing off their death and pretending like they were friends. Just standard, typical Cyrax vulture grifting. 2012 arrest. When he was arrested in 2012 for beating up his granny Sally. Rupel Mark / Angus Ravenwood. That's his dad who was arrested for doing terrible things to a girl on a bike path. And when he got out of jail, he changed his name from Rupel Marks to Angus Ravenwood. Getting muted on stream. So he always gets muted on stream because he's yelling and he won't let anybody else talk, but he continues to talk even after the fact. Alright, so I found out recently that YouTube doesn't like me to say this name. So let's just say William Glory Hallelujah. That's, one of the better trolls who really gets under Cyrax's skin. Strawberry Sunshine. E-Racing. The Shooting Incident. So this is a newer entry on here. The shooting incident happened in November where he claims that someone shot at him. And it was a really funny thing. Really funny, like, lots of stuff happened from that. Stress-induced eczema. That's also a newer entry. And he's claiming that his scabs and rashes all over his body is stress-induced eczema as opposed to him not, like, having good hygiene. Living in, like, a bedbug-filled house and whatnot. Burger Boy, the Poo Pen. That's an infamous one. There's a new one now too. There's a newer video of him doing almost the exact same thing with a marker. Sally Wilkins, Tangerine Cat, Schmeckle Cat, Jamie Nicole. Jamie Nicole is one of the original trolls. Ed. Ed is Sally's boyfriend, and we're getting more and more footage of him. He wanted to be a weatherman. $, Music Biz Marty. That's Music Biz Marty's Cash App, and it's just a standard thing. He always like puts it in places. The $30 watch. That's a newer entry on here. He had a $30 watch that he claimed was an Apple Watch, and when everybody like told him that's not an Apple Watch, that's a $30 watch, he kind of got freaked out about it. We haven't seen it since. Smokey MC. Bender Boys Records, 5x4, Allegedly, that's how tall he is, but you know, he's probably shorter than that. Train photo freakout. There's photos of him hanging on the side of a train, and he had a real freak out about that when Marty confronted him about it and said that he was breaking the law. Swollen leg. That has to do with the stress-induced eczema, essentially. It's all around the same time. He had a foot that was swelling up, but he still claimed it was still the troll's fault, and it had to do with a stress-induced eczema. But more likely, it was something like gout or something from a poor diet. Okay, let's continue down. Street racing scene. This is the most popular song. Handle Smith. Marty and Chance become friends. Well, I really do believe that Marty is Chance's best friend when it comes down to it. Just recently, he like called Marty and like tried to get him to help him stop some other trolls. The Darkness. That's his little short film he tried to make. Chance made $5.30 in 10 years off his music. The ice bullet theory. This has to do with the shooting incident where a loud noise was heard, and at first he was like, oh, it's something paranormal. No, it's not something paranormal. No, nobody shot it. But then once he realized he could milk it, he began saying that someone shot my window. And at this point, even like Sally is encouraging his delusions by saying that William is the one who shot at him. Rat trap theory. It's another theory about the shooting incident, but this one's saying that a rat trap is what snapped in his bedroom and made the loud noise that he claims is a gunshot. The hammer. It's one of his weapons of choices. He's always like flinging the hammer around. Tony. Tony's another little funny little lolcow. He's in a wheelchair, and him and Cyraxx don't like each other, but Cyraxx especially hates Tony. 43. That's the police code in Akron for a mentally disturbed individual, so everybody calls Chance a 43. Your turn, cutie. The gross thing that he said to someone he thought was 14. N-word boy / Hebrew boy. Slurs that he often uses, most commonly towards Marty. The Black Dragon. The Black Dragon is Tony's alternate persona when he starts to curse people. He'll like turn off the lights and summon the Black Dragon and start spitting out like weird like curses in like tongues or whatnot, like, you know, yes, no, la bola, and all that stuff. Swollen peen. He had an infection in his peen because he likes to put stuff down in it, and he made Sally put the cream on it because he himself couldn't even put the cream on it. Ed punches Cyrax's teeth out. It's a really good stream where he shows back up and he has a bloody mouth. That leads right into this other instance. Bloody mouth freakout. It's after Ed punched him. He comes on to panel and he has blood all in his mouth. And people are like, did you attack Ed? And he's all just like, well, geez, maybe I wouldn't have to if you would leave me alone. So yet again, trying to blame everybody else for why he attacked Ed. Three weeks with no bath or shower. Yeah, he doesn't bathe. There's videos of Sally like coming in and be like, Cyraxx, did you take a bath? And he was just like, no. And she's like, well, it's too late now. And he's like, whatever. So that's why he's having this like eczema in quotes and the swollen leg and whatnot. It has nothing to do with stress. It's the fact that he is a gross person. Do what? Bitch? Those are two of his classic catchphrases. Guitar covers. He's always trying to play covers of, I don't know, butt rock for the most part. Like, just really bad 2000s music. You know, they always have like that ooh ah in it and whatnot. He can't play guitar though, so it doesn't really matter. It's just him like ding ling 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 on like the guitar. quitting / retiring. He always says that he's quitting or retiring from whatever it is he's doing at the moment. If he's playing music a lot, he'll be like, I'm retiring from music and I'm going to focus on my gaming. If he's been gaming a lot, he's like, I'm retiring from gaming and focusing on my music. It never lasts long, and it's always just some sort of ploy. Alright, let's proceed further down. Eric Scrubalo. Eric Scrubalo is one of the Juggalos that he had original, beef with. Banned from the official Linkin Park Discord. 339 Lloyd Street. Cyraxx. That's always going to be one of my favorites, is the Cyraxx. Marty shows up to Cyrax's house. He's done it multiple times, and Cyrax, of course, hides and doesn't come out. Nicholas Beeger. That's like Marty's name. The Peen in the Vice video. It's more like a clip that you'd use on chip bags. But, of course, he's a weird little freaky guy, and he puts it on his member. Rejected by Juggalos. Yeah, the Juggalos rejected him. Which, that's saying something right there. The Peen Infection live stream. It's the live stream where he's talking about how his member's infected and Sally has to put the cream on it. Suicide prevention video. Him and Heather made a suicide prevention video, and it's one of the funnier things he's done. Brother Bill, rest in peace. He had a brother, uncle, however you want to call it, who was a drag queen, and they went by the name Atlanta Rose. Ed overdosed. There's a call to 911 that Sally made where Ed had overdosed on Percocets. And she claimed, yeah, he did it on purpose. Duplex City. Lance Chilkins. Lance Chilkins is the one who owns his music, like Drift King and all that stuff. Saren. Saren is like Marty's girlfriend at one point that Chance liked and tried to talk to, and I don't know, tried to get information out of and stuff. It was a weird thing. He's obsessed with any woman, so it doesn't really surprise us. Classic Games Canada. That's one of the original Cyrax content channels on YouTube. Gothy. Gothy is a lolcow in her own right who Chance had a crush on. She, though, had a crush on King Cobra. So it was a weird little love triangle. Friends with the Green Power Ranger. Chance claims that he was friends with Jason David Frank, who was the Green Power Ranger. And for 3 weeks after he died, he kept doing memorial concerts, just trying to leech off of his death. Dog tag incident. Cyrax and Heather threw Eric Scrubalo's Juggalo dog tags in Summit Lake because Sally told them to. Just some original Juggalo drama. Nihilit. Nihilit was a furry that was friends with Chance, who he talked to and hung out with on Twitch, I think, before Cyrax's permanent ban on Twitch. PBS. At one point, Cyrax thought PBS was going to make a documentary about him, instead of it being a protective service coming to do a check on him. Skull Scratcher comedy freakout. Oh, I'm sorry, Soul Scratcher. It's the weird one where, this is a newer thing, Marty told Chance that he would pay him $100 for 1 hour of original Skull Scratcher comedy, including the knock 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 knock. Hey, you crazy kooky weirdos! What are you talking about? Hey, yuck, 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 yuck. But he didn't do that. Instead, he just read people's names in chat and tried to make jokes about their names. It wasn't really good. And then afterwards, he had a really good freak out when he called Marty. It was pay me, Marty, pay me, Marty. He said, pay me, Marty, multiple times. And then he was here, you want a skull scratch? I'll give you one. And proceeded to scratch his head almost raw. Cyrax thinks Marty is gay. This is one of the funnier trolls in my opinion. For some reason, Cyrax has got it in his mind that Marty is gay, and Marty likes to go with it and like play with it, like, oh, of course, I love him. I need him. I need him all to myself, and it's a really funny power move on Marty's part, I believe. Lava Girl. Heather number 1. Yeah, Chance has a type, and we just call them Heathers at this point. Security Jake. Security Jake is Chance's best friend and possible secret boyfriend. They're always hanging out together and like roughhousing, and Jake is openly bisexual, and so, you know, hanging out in the train yards together. In high school at 23, he was like one of the longest going high school people that existed. He just couldn't graduate. He wasn't smart enough to graduate, kept getting held back. So he was still in high school at 23 before he got kicked out. Summit Lake. It's the lake that's right beside his house. D-Drama 206. Skull Scratcher Comedy. This is the original Skull Scratcher Comedy, and it's the good one. It's the funny one. Sludge. He's always drinking on some sludge. Mysterious brown fluid. Music Biz Marty Face Stream. Heather Kalana. That's not really one of his girlfriend Heathers, but just somebody that Music Biz Marty also talked to and had on their streams. And there's a video of Chance like pleasuring himself to her, and he didn't remember that the stream was still going, so everybody could hear it. And fortunately, we couldn't see it, but everybody could hear it in the background. Chris Bennett / Cyrax Infiltration Unit. Zadrium 0. Chance is bisexual. That's a theory that we all are pretty sure is true. I mean, he has to be somewhat, because, you know, he's openly done it with another guy. But he will deny it and say that he's straight. Chance's mother. That would be Connie, and she died in a house fire in Alaska, but she's very mysterious. Your mom should have spit instead of swallow. A classic Cyrax line where he thought that, you know, swallowing would get a woman pregnant. Chance can't solve 2 + 2. Abby. Abby was one of his original girlfriends who had a hook for a hand. The rifle. He brandishes a rifle on a stream and threatens to kill people with it. Blink 1488. I mean, you know, he's a little bit of a nazi. He's always saying like terrible stuff to Marty about, like, you know, a certain German like leader calls him and tells him that he wants Marty back at the camps. Tyler, New York. Chris Hansen cameo. Someone paid Chris Hansen to like call him out. But Cyrax, why does that name sound familiar? Better be careful, Cyrax. You don't want to end up on To Catch a Predator or To Have a Seat with Chris Hansen. High school parkour videos. It's essentially one video of him running and like barely like jumping off a wall. Not even jumping off a wall. He runs up and he puts his feet against it and he like turns around. But in his mind, he did a backflip over it. Lost Innocence. One of the more disturbing things that he did is steal a song that was a poem a girl wrote about being assaulted as a child. And he just took the exact like poem, changed a couple of lyrics by adding some cuss words into it, and claimed it as his own. It's a really like weird, gross move for someone like him to do. Zadrium 0. Just regular spaghetti in a can. Alright. Now we're at the bottom. I don't know if you're going to be able to see all of them on screen, but I'll still try to read them. Blind Billy incident. We know about that one. Cyrax abuses Sally. Obviously he does. Soul solaced. Chance is lying about Sally's stroke. Yeah. Because right before this it says, Sally had a stroke and Chance didn't do anything about it. He claimed that she had a stroke. He didn't do anything. And he was on the phone. He was like, oh, it's just a mini stroke. It's okay. She drove herself to the hospital. But then when someone contacted Sally later on, she said that she never had a stroke. Incest theory. It's the theory that, Rupal pulled a Chris Chan with Sally, and Cyrax is their offspring. Domestic abuse of Heather Kraut. He always is like, I didn't abuse you, I didn't abuse you. He's on the phone, like, talking about that, and he said, if anything, you abused me. But at the same time, there's video of him, like, raising his fist towards her during a live stream. Dog abuse. Not only is it actual, just, like, uncaring about the animal, but there is a theory that Cyrax has done more things with the dog. Things I'm not going to talk about right now. Chance gets literal hate boners from Marty. And this is true, because whenever he does the pull his pants down bit, he's always standing at attention. And it's strange, it's weird. It's like the only way he can get off now is by having Marty yell at him. And I think that's it. I think that's all of the newer things that have been added. So yeah, thanks for watching this, and if we get any newer updates with it, I will make a new video. Thanks everybody for watching this. I'll see you guys later.